Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Ya Fattah, Ya Fattah, Ya Fattah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa barik wa sallim. Rabbana zidna ilma, Rabbi shrah li sadri, wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Okay. So how are you all, sisters?
Thank you.
Okay. So have you forgotten everything over the long break? Or do you remember something? Did anyone revised?
Yeah, I have to listen to the lectures, but I have to listen. I think I have to listen again for it to go in my head.
Okay, no worry. We'll do the revision and we'll see how much have we retained from our previous lectures. So I'll ask you some questions and you give me the answers so I know how much do you remember. So Sister Hodma, okay, if a present tense fail begins with Alif Hamza, the insert pronoun is?
If a present tense fail.
Does the past tense fail begin with Alif Hamza?
Alif, and the alif, it means ana.
Yes, if we have a alif in the beginning, it must is the present tense fail and let's say inside pronoun is ana. Good. Sister Raisa, if a present tense fail begin with the noon, then the inside pronoun is?
It's nahu.
Good. Sister Samia, if the present tense begins with ta, then the inside pronoun is? Sorry, ya. Just give me the answer for ya first.
Huwa, huma, the masculine huma, hum, and hunna.
And the hunna. There are 4 possibilities of a present tense fail beginning with ya. What tells them apart? That which pronoun is there? So how do you identify it's a huwa or huma or hum or hunna?
The ending sometimes.
The ending. So the ending, how do you say? If it's huwa, then?
So if it's huwa, then it's yansuru.
Then we have our ending sound.
Yeah.
U sound.
Yansurani, yansuruna.
Yunsurani
And
for
then-
huma. Right? See, huma yunsurani. Ani sound for huma.
Huma yansurani,
Yansurani.
yansurani, hum yansuruna, and hunna yansurna.
Good, well done. Sister Hudma, now you tell me if the present tense fail begins with ta. So what are the possibilities?
Here, feminine huma, and then anta, anti, antuma, antuma, antum, and antunna.
Very good. So there are 8 possibilities, right? So now tell me how do we set them apart?
Miss, I'm gonna go and do my prayer.
Okay, please, no problem.
The endings, the changings of the endings.
Okay, so give me the endings, please.
Here, tansuru, or anta tansuru, those 2 are the same, tansuru.
Yes, that's good.
It's huma tansurani and antuma tansurani.
Very good.
Not huma, sorry. Antum tansuruna. Anti tansurina. And antunna tansurna.
Antuma tansurna. So we have 8 different pronouns, but how many variations?
We have 5, I think.
5 variations. U sounding, ani sounding,
6.
ina sounding, and una sounding. And sukun and na sounding, right? Na sounding, right? So it will
Yes,
be
5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right?
Yes.
So we have 5 different variations. Very good. So how do you know if it's huma, antuma, or antum, main antuma, or main antum? If we have tansurani?
By the context.
By the context. You see the other things in the jumla and then you identify it says huma, antuma, or antum. Very good. Sister Samia, okay, I said the present tense fail begin with the fatha or dash, but never with dash.
Sorry? Fatha?
Fatha, or what else haraka can we find at the beginning of a present tense, but what we cannot find at the beginning of a present tense?
Okay, Fatha and Dhamma, not Kasra.
Fatha or Dhamma, no kasra. There is no kasra in afals, right? Kasras are for
Yes,
isma,
ism.
right? Yes, we have sukoon in afal, which we do not have in isma. Very good. Sister Hodma, the fail nasara is what tense and fail yansuru is what tense?
Nasara is fi'l madi and yansuru is mudari'.
Okay, very well done. That's good. So I think we have very well understand the chart. So you can answer that if I ask not to give you a chart only, but if something comes up separately, you can, mashallah, easily identify it now. Now, Sister Samia, give me the huruf and nasiba that we have.
An, lan, likay, hatta.
And do you remember the meanings of them?
Not yet, Ustad. I need to go over it again.
Okay. An means to. Lan means will not. If we have lan before our present tense, then it changes the meanings to will not, the negation, right?
Okay.
Likai means so that or in order to. And what did we study about likai? Then it can appear as likai and also as
Yeah, it can appear as li or kay
li
or
or
both.
kai or
Likay.
likai. There are three forms of it. And hatta means until. And we studied something about hatta.
Yeah, hatta is also a huruf jar if it comes before an ism, but if it comes before fi'l mudare, then it makes it light. So if it's a dhamma, it ends in a fatha. If it's a noon, if it ends in a noon, you take the noon off, but you can't change a group of females.
Okay, very good. And there is another thing about hatta, that it's also a harf. It's also harf jar and it's also a harf nasiba, but it's also a harf which can appear as its own meaning itself as well, in the meaning of until, right?
Okay.
If
Without any ism or without any
it
fi'l.
can come as, if it comes as a fi'l madi, right? It will have no effect on it, but it will remain as a meaning of until. But it will not do any changes.
Yes.
Like when it's coming as a harf jar, it's changing the ism to majroor. When it's coming before an fi'l mudare, it's changing the fi'l to mansoob. Now, if it comes before madi, it will have no effect.
No effect, but it's still until. Okay, got it.
Very good, very good. Jazakallah khair. Now we'll start a new topic, which is Haroof Jazimah. So, Sister Habiba, Assalamu alaikum. Can you please tell us what were the Haroof Jazimah that we studied when we started?
What?
Haroof Jazimah, we studied two sets of Haroof, right? Haroof Nasaba and Haroof Jazimah.
Yes. In lamma, wal falli.
In lamma wal falli. Do you have their meanings with you?
Yeah, I have written. In is if, lam did not, lamma not yet, wal and should, and fal then should, li should.
Very good. So these are the Haroof Jazimah, or we call them the lightest Haroof, right? So let's start sharing screen, and we'll study them today as to see how they affect the Failul Mudare, and we see that the Haroof Nasba make it light, and the Haroof Jazimah will make them lightest. So I want Sister Hodma to please read from the note. Oh gosh, where is it? Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, please carry on.
In can sometimes affect two fi'ls and give an if-then meaning.
Okay, so
Lam.
when stop with every note, right? So when we say in means if, right? So sometimes you have a answer, like when somebody asks you, when will you give me the money? Okay, if you do my work, right? Then if you do my work with the sentence starting with the if, it's a condition, right? If sentences are always a conditional sentences because they have some condition attached to it. If somebody does that, then something, right? So if sentences if beginning with in, So sometimes you are answering, it is only one fail involved. But when you are saying a condition, if you will do this, then I will do that. Like if you give me the book, then I will write, right? So if you give me the book, then I will write. Then there are two afal involved, right? So sometimes in effect the two afal as well, because you have you have a condition attached, if and then. So do you get the meaning, understanding of the concept of conditional sentences?
Yeah, inshallah.
Everybody else? Because conditional sentences appears a lot in Quran. So is everybody clear?
Could you repeat it? Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. Well, conditional sentences, let's understand them first. When we have a condition, there is one thing, and then there's something that is as a result of the first thing that we say. Like when we say to the kids, okay, you will get ice cream if you finish your homework, right? So you say these are conditional sentences, and you can say it like if you complete your homework, then you will get what? The ice cream. So first thing is a condition, and the second thing is the result, right? The reward, or you can say. So if you do this, then I'll do this. If you say that, then I will say that, or I will do that, or I will, comply to that. So when we have a condition, we have one sentence and we have another sentence. One sentence is about a condition, and the other sentence is about the result. So when we have in, which is by English meaning is if, then sometime if you only have if you do that as an answer, like, and sometimes you have if and then condition. So that in is affecting not one but two sentences. So if they have two sentences, the both will be lightest. The both of all will be lightest. Do you understand now?
Yes.
Because if and then are the part of a one big sentence, right? One big group. Because if and then cannot be disconnected, because they have an effect, because one sentence has a part effect on the if sentence, has an effect on then sentence, and then sentence has an effect of in sentence. So they both are connected. So that's why when in appear and if there are two afal involved, then it makes both afal the lightest.
When we're translating, we put if and then as well. We have to put then ourselves when we're translating.
Yes, you will see when you be doing it that how it will be, inshallah ta'ala. Now Sister Raisa, are you back? No, I think
Yes.
she's still. Oh, you're back? Okay. Okay, good. So you understand what we were saying? Did you miss any part of it, or you get it?
Yeah.
You got it? That's good. Sister Hodna, please carry on reading.
Lam gives a past tense meaning, did not, despite the fact that it only comes after a fi'l mudari.
Okay. You say that lam is did not. Did not in English it means what? It's something that happened in the past. I did not eat the chocolate. I did not eat the chocolate anyway. I did not eat the chocolate because something is happened in the past. But when we have a did, we use ate or we use eat? We use the present form, right?
Yeah,
Same is here. That when we are using a lam, we are not using the past madi form. We are using the mudare form. So is that easy?
Yeah, so even though the sentence means the past, but we're using the fail, which is mudari.
Which
Okay.
is mudare. Same as in English, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now please carry on reading, sister.
Also, know that lamma can come before a fi'l madi. In this case, it means when and has no effect on the fi'l.
Okay. We are studying lamma here as a Haroof Jazimah. So this Haroof Jazm is lamma, which means not yet. So if this, okay, my background noise is so loud, so let me close the window. Okay, good. So when we say lamma, if lamma appears before a fi'l mudari, it will change the fi'l into lightest, and the translation will be not yet, something that has not done yet. But when the lamma appears before fi'l madi, it will not have any effect because fi'l madi does not change its form, And the translation will be when, not yet, right? So lamma has a meaning of when as well. So don't be confused whenever you see lamma that it is only a harf jazma that appears as a not yet. Okay, so lamma also has a meaning of when. Please make a note of it and write it down, because this is very confusing at times when we are doing translations.
So when it's before fi'l al-mudari, it's not yet, but when it comes before fi'l al-madi, it means when.
Right? So write it in bold somewhere in your notebooks, please.
Could you say that again?
Okay, so when a lamma appears before fi'l mudari, that meaning will be not yet. But when lamma appears before fi'l madi, it will be translated as when.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes.
Okay, now Sister Raisa, I want you to read this.
Okay. To make a fa'il lightest, one, if it ends in a dhamma, then change it to sukoon.
Okay, first one thing. When we're making it the light, right? The original form, what is the original form of a fi'l mudari?
Dhamma.
Okay, yeah. So I'm asking Sister Raisa. Sister Raisa, what is the huwa form of fi'l mudari?
Huwa form fi'il mudari is dhamma.
No, give me the word. Huwa
Yansuru.
Huwa yansuru, right? When we make it light, what would we did?
We add the sukoon instead of the dhamma.
When we make it light, we didn't add the sukoon. There was no sukoon in the light form. What we did when we make it light?
To make it light, we changed from tanween to the dhamma.
Not tanween, from dhamma. There is no tanween in afal. When there is tanween, there are always asma. This is an easy way to identify between fail and asma, that if a word has a tanween, it's always a isim, because afal does not take tanween. So you say yansuru. There was no tanween, it was only one dhamma.
Yeah.
Right? So when we make it light, we make, Sister Samia, what we did?
We change it to a fatha.
We may change it to fatha. We say huwa yansura. Right?
Surah.
And now we're making it lightest. So the lightest is sukoon. Right? So lightest is the jazam. Jazam means sukoon. And we're the lightest word. So remember like this. The lightest are Haroof Jazimah. The jazam means sukoon. So huwa yansur. Right? So whenever we had the dhamma ending, we change it to what? Sukoon. Like huwa yansur, hiya tansur, anta tansur. Right? We only have 3 here and the 2 in the bottom, which was ansuru to ansur and nansuru to nansur. So you see the 5 has changed after sukoon in the ending. Are you all getting me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the regular was yansuru, tansuru, ansuru and nansuru. The light one were ansura, tansura, ansuru and nansuru. And the lightest are yansur, tansur, ansur and nansur. Everybody clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Sister Raisa, please carry on reading the point 2.
If it ends in a noon, get rid of the noon.
Okay. So it's the same thing as we did in the light Haroof. We drop the noon. Isn't that?
Yeah.
So when we drop the noon, what was the format? That yansurani become yansura, yansuruna become yansuru, tansurani become tansura, And we did made any change to yansurna. Why?
You can't change a group of women.
Group of women cannot be changed. So tansurani become tansura, tansuruna become tansuru, and that's tansurina become tansuri, and that's it, because tansura cannot be changed. Group of people. So only thing that you have to remember that is changing here from light to light is that the fatha has been dropped to jazm or sukoon. Right? The rest of the chart remaining the same, because we already have dropped the noon, we cannot do anything else to it, right? And the ladies does not like change, they were not changed then, they are not changed now. So what is the difference between light and lightest form of a fi'l mudare? Sister Raisa?
Change the noon.
No, we do not change the noon, we are changing fatha to sukoon, and that's the only change. So those huruf that had the sound ending, not the combination ending, that was huwa, hiya, anta, ana, and nahanu. So they changed to sukoon, right? And the rest of the charts look similar to the light chart, right? So if you remember the light chart, you only have to remember this part to remember the lightest chart. Okay?
Can we write down like fatha and dhamma ending becomes sukun?
You can fatha and dhamma ending. If you say like this, then the getting fatha ending, you're talking about the light huruf. When you're talking about dhamma ending, you're talking about the regular huruf, right? So if you want to compare two, you cannot compare both of them like this, right? So if you're comparing the light and the lightest chart, you can say the fatha ending changed to sukoon. But when you're talking about the regular chart, then you have to work on the whole chart, right? You cannot just say that, and it will confuse you next time if you write it down like that, huh? So when you read it, you will get confused. So you can write that the difference between the light and the lightest chart is the fatha ending will get the sukoon ending, and the rest remain the same. Okay, thank you, Sister Raisa. Sister Samia. Now we're doing this example. So you have to see the changes, and you have to point out what happened, right? So now please read this example.
Take a look at the following examples. Notice how the huruf affect the af'al after them. Inna. I mean, there's no shadda, so inna. Inna tansuru Allah yansurkum. Tansurullaha yansurkum.
So we know that there is, if it was inna, that was huruf nasab, right? So it is inna. Why it's inna? Because of the what to say, the tajweed thing, right? To make a connection when you're reading, right? So that's why the fatha is placed for a reading purposes. So when we say in or so what does it mean? It's a huruf.
It's a huruf nasib jazimah. So if jazm.
Harf jazam or huruf jazimah.
Okay. So it means if. And then tansuru. So this is a fi'l, and
which is fi'l mudare, in which is a hidden pronoun in it.
So it's got ta beginning. So it can be here, or it can be anta, anti.
It can be huma as well.
Huma, the humas, yeah. Or antunna.
Annuma, antuma, anti, antunna, right? So these are the possibility, 8 possibilities we have. But what do you see as something is missing, because we do not have a wa only ending like this, right? So there is something is missing. It cannot be here because there waw alif addition.
Because it's got the sukoon at the end. So if we compare the light to the lightest chart,
Yeah,
it
first
can be here.
first work
Yeah.
out with your regular chart, because this is your
Regular chart.
reference, right? So we say that the options that we have is here tansuru, right? So that is cannot be tansuru because there is something additional. So huma tansurani is what? Ani ending. There's no vav in tansurani, right?
No.
Anta, again, same thing. Antuma for both tansurani ending, which we do not have.
No.
So we have antum tansuruna.
Mm-hmm.
So does it sound like antum tansuruna?
Una. Yeah.
So
It's got the u.
It's got the u, right? It's can antum tansuruna. So we have an antum ending, right? Here antum is a hidden pronoun here. And why there is no noon here? Because in is a huruf jazimah and noon has been dropped. So the fi'l mudare is in lightest form. So we have hidden pronoun is antum. If tansura means to have, tansura means all of you help, right?
Yeah. Ustada, so if the noon can be dropped in light and lightest. So can you just explain again how we know it's lightest?
Because the harf before it is lightest. If it
Oh yes, because it's the jazimah. Yes, of course.
You just said that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's haroof jazimah, so we know that the harf here is lightest.
Yeah.
Okay, tansuru and Allah. What is Allah? What harf Allah here? Word Allah here?
It has a fatha on it.
It has a fatha.
So that means that it's light.
No, Allah, word Allah is ism or fail?
Oh yes, it's ism.
So yes.
So it's nasab status.
So what is it doing in the jumla failure? Jumla failure, how many parts of jumla failure are there?
3. So it's fi'l, fa'il, maf'ul. So this is going to be maf'ul bihi.
Maf'ul bihi because
it's nasab and status, and we're not looking for an outside door, and it's not rafa and status.
All maf'ul are nasab in status. So why do you say it's maf'ul bihi?
Because it answers who.
Yes, answers who, right? So we have fail file in tansuru, and we have a maf'ul bihi in the ismu jalala Allah. So if tansuru means you all, right? If you all aid or help Allah, so what it is? The conditional sentence.
Yes, condition.
So there must be something coming as a result of it.
Result,
if you do this, then something. So
then.
Yes,
then we have then.
Then we have a then here. You can write down then here, right?
Yeah.
Because this is a condition. You say where the then comes from. So then comes from here. Or you can put comma and say he will aid you, or then he will aid you. So what is yansurkum?
So that's also a fi'l mudari', and it's the result of the condition.
First you have to give me the fail, and then you have to give me the inside pronoun or outside
So
pronoun, right?
okay, so the fail is yansur, and the inside the file because it ends in a sukoon, it can be huwa, hiya.
No, not like that. If you have yansur, okay, so we have only one form that have ya beginning.
Oh yes.
And the sound ending, right? So we have huwa yansuru. So first you change it to the regular form. Always make a practice to change it to the regular form. So huwa yansuru. Say the chart loud. Huwa yansuru. And this is yansur. This is jazm. Sukoon ending. Why? Because of the effect of an in. Right? In. Effect of na is here sounding because of the flow of the sentence to make it iterable. But the word is in. Right? So we have a word in that is affecting two af'al here, tansuru and yansur. Tansurua or yansuru, right? Tansura. So we have
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, because it's Yab is the beginning, so it's going to be Huwa. Inside will be Huwa.
inside dual is huwa, and what is the kum doing here?
This is a touch pronoun. This the maf'ul will be he.
Very good. So yansurkum, how will you translate it?
So he will aid, and then kum you all.
Okay. So then if you say he will add you, or you can say then he aid
Then
you, or
he
then
will.
he helped you.
Yeah.
If you help Allah, then He helps you. Right?
Yeah.
So is everybody clear on this sentence? Or do you want me to repeat it? Class.
Does that mean that we can look for in as well as inna?
Yes, sometime when we have a tajweed, right? We have to give certain haraka to a word. Like just say we have studied min as a huruf jar, but there was a minna when we are doing the exercise, right? Because the na was the haraka on the noon was because of the continuity. Minallahi ta'ala, right? We say so when min lahi ta'ala we cannot do it, right? So for tajweed reason you have to give the haraka to a harf sometimes, but since we are the grammar student, we have to look at it, so see understand that which harka is a part of a harf, which is a part of a tajweed, right? So in grammar it is in, but in tajweed it is inna. So you're right, sometimes in can appear as inna as well. So is that question answered, Sasha?
Yes. And when we're saying it, do we say it's a harf of majroor?
Harf of jazm.
Majzum.
No.
Okay, jazm.
Harf of
Harf of jazm.
jazm or huruf jazima. Mazum is something that has, okay. Whenever you have the mu beginning for an ism, right, it is something that the action has done to. Like jar make an ism what? Majroor. The action is done on an ism, right? So the doer is the jar and the done to is the ism that is following it. So we have majroor. When we have harf nasab, the nasab and mansoob, right? So when you say something majzoom, the tansurua is majzoom and in is the harf jazm. So you understand now?
Yes.
So what is when we have mu in the beginning of something, the action is done to on something, right? They are not the doer. So in is the doer and the fail is the done to, right? The action is done on fail. And all these huruf that we have studied, huruf jazima or huruf nasiba, they all are the action doer, right? And the afal are the effective ones. So that's why the afal will be mansoob or afal will be majzoom. Similarly, the asma were majroor or mansoob or marfu, right? We study this thing. Like simply you say qatil and maqtul, Hamid and Mahmud. So Hamid is someone who is praising and Mahmud is someone who has been praised. So this is the concept of some kind of asma. When you have a certain beginning, you can easily identify the action is done to them. Very good, Sister Samia. Now we'll see the next one. Sister Raisa. Now, Sister Habiba. Can you please do the next one, please?
Lam. Lam is did not.
Yes.
So yanazil. Yunazil. So
Give me the regular form of it, please. First of all.
Huwa yansuru. Huma yansurani.
So yansuru, you have to put it on nazala now. So yansuru will become
nazalu.
Nazalu will be past tense.
Oh, sorry, nuzulu.
Huwa, we have to add something. Alif, Alif Hamza, Ya, Nun, Ta, right?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, yanazzalu.
So it's not Ya, it is Yunazzilu. Anzala Yunazzilu. Right? Like we said that some of all take fatha or some of all take dhamma in the beginning, right?
Okay.
So this is the huwa Yunazzilu.
Wa yunazzilu.
But
Huma
now what we
yunazzilu.
okay, you have Yunazzilu, we have a match, right?
Yes.
Because we do not have any of
Yes.
fail that have is sound ending with the ya beginning, right?
Mhm.
So we have a match.
So
Huwa
yes.
Yunazzilu, right? So why
So
we have a
it's a
Yunazzil here?
he.
No, Yunazzil. What?
I mean,
Why we have Yunazzil here? Why we have a sukoon on lam?
Because of lam, yes, it is lightest.
Because of lam, we do not have Yunazzilu, but we have Yunazzil.
Zil. Yeah.
Right? See, you understand? Why Yunazzil? Because
Yes.
of lam. If there was no lam,
Lam.
that would be Yunazzilu. Because
Yes.
of lam, we have Yunazzil. Okay. Now we are starting a Jumla failure. So what do we are looking for?
Outside door we can look for, but here is no ism with rafa form. So he's the file.
So huwa is the file, he is the file, right?
Or,
And the fail is
Then-
here, fail al mudari, lightest, yunazzil.
Yes. Yes, Yunasil.
And what do we have after it? What other parts do we have in Jumla failure?
Maful,
And
maful and mutalik bil fail.
okay, maful and mutalik bil fail. So what do we look for first? If it's not attached pronoun.
Maful.
If it's not attached pronoun, then we look for mutalik bil fail first, because they are easy to spot, right?
Yes, jar. If it is jar from majrur, then okay. Then here is bihi, so it is jar majrur.
So what do we?
So,
what is bihi here?
mutalik bil fail. This is
Mutalik bil fail. Good. And then
sultana. This is in nasab form. Sultana, so it is maful.
It is
Maful.
And what kind of a maful it is? Looking at the meaning.
I think it is bihi.
Very
Because
good.
what?
Because answering what? Very good. So now we know. Okay. Now we start to do translation. Yunazzilu means nazzala means to send. Yunazzilu
Send
means send down, right? Yunazzilu means what? He
Sent down.
He sent down, right? And we have lam. Yunazzilu. What does it mean now?
He did not send down.
He did not send down. Bihi.
He is for with it.
For it. B means with it.
For it.
Yeah, they have translated for it because sometimes these the haroof has to adopt the meaning depend on the sentence. But you
Yes.
say with it. With it is fine, right? And sultana
Yeah.
means authority.
Authority, yes.
Okay, so
He did not send down for it authority. Then authority
you just translate yourself with it authority.
wait for it. Authority, yes.
But what do you see here is an additional word in this translation.
Yeah, here is any,
So why any is here?
because this is not proper noun.
Proper noun.
So we can say a, but here okay. Because of the order change.
Yes, because of the order change. Because mutalik bil fail is coming before maf'ul bihi.
Yes.
We translated, we did not send down for it any authority for it authority, but since we know that the order has changed, so translation must have some emphasis on it, right? So we translate it as he did not send down any authority for it.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, good. Everybody clear on this example? Any questions?
I just wouldn't know to use any as a, but that comes with experience. I wouldn't
Any is
like that.
emphasis because of the abnormal sentence structure.
No, I understand that, but I wouldn't know which one to choose for. I would like they chose any. Like I probably wouldn't know how
So
to
what
make
would
it
you
more.
will use here?
I don't know.
That's why, when sometime that's called balagha, right? That's why the balagha comes in. Sometimes you have to make sense of the thing out of what is written, because in any language you cannot do word by word translation. So sometimes translation has to use a common sense. So we say he did not send down authority for it, or you say any authority, but I can say absolute authority for it, right? I can say, what will you put as an emphasis on here? So that's the way they use any was used, because any authority for it, okay? Because there's no chance at all, right?
So it would be the maf'ul bihi would have the emphasis because the mutalib bil fi'l comes before it. So that's why any authority they've added the emphasis on the authority.
Okay, yes, because when you're translating it, you will word by word you would have done it. He did not send down for it authority, right? But since we know the order has changed, we have to make it a right order, and then we have to see what are we talking about here. We are talking about what? Authority.
The authority.
So that's why the emphasis is about what is the topic of a sentence. So topic of the sentence is about the authority, right? So that's how things work. This is advanced. Inshallah ta'ala, when we finish doing nahu and sarf, then we will move to balagha. And that's because now the things started making sense for us. But the Quran, of all the languages, the Quranic language is the most complex. It's simple, but it's complicated. So we understand a part of it, but to understand the whole of it, we have to do sarf, nahu, sarf, and balagha. So mashallah, we started making sense of it with the nahu a lot, like more than 60% of it. With the sarf, when we do, inshallah, we will say what the word has been used, which form of the word is used, and what the hidden meaning in that. Every family has some meaning associated with it, like what kind of a word it is, it shows. So we'll do inshallah sarf. We will see why this word was choosing, why was not that word was chosen for it. Like you have many word for when you say try, you can use a strive, right? So you can say he was trying for it, he was striving for it, but why I use strive, why I don't use strive? So when I say I'm hungry, I can say you're starving, but hungry and starving has different meaning, right? And they are different implication. Hunger is acute, is lesser in compared to
Acute,
starving,
yeah.
right?
But starving is more chronic.
It's a
like
more
people have
severe form of a hunger. So that's why when this will serve tell you which word to use where, and why Allah Mia has put some word. And when you're doing balagha, when everything is combined, then you have to make sense of it. So sometimes word by word translation or word by word grammatical translation does not give you the full meaning, then balagha comes in. See? So that's how things work. And inshallah ta'ala, in due time you will be able to do it myself. Sister Hodma, please do the lamma. يذوق وزابي.
لما يذوق عذابي. So lamma is the huruf of jazm.
It's a harf of jazm.
The harf. Sorry, huruf is plural. It means not yet.
Harf of jazm.
Oh, sorry, I need to write this down, inshallah.
This is write down. This is something that you should do by practice now, right?
Okay.
Whatever you have learned, you have to make it into a practice.
Okay. يذوق is it's فعل and فاعل. It's got the hum, and it's been made lightest.
You have to give me the original format. That's I'm asking everybody to give me the original format, because that is the right practice to do it, right?
Okay. So the original would be يذوقون.
يذوقون. And what will be the hidden pronoun in it?
Hum.
Hum يذوقون. Very good.
And And عذابي is مفعول به.
No, okay. Another thing for your practice. You will not say, just hold a second. This is, okay. Hum yazuquna, make lightest because of lamma, so yazuqu. Okay? Say the whole thing after me, please. Hum yazuquna, make lightest.
هم يذوقون, you make lights because of لما, so you say يذوقوا.
Lamma yazuqu.
لما يذوقوا.
Okay, now please go ahead.
Okay. And then عذابي is مفعول به because it what?
Okay, yes. What you have not
Yes.
tested is, yeah, patient.
Yeah.
Right? What? Okay.
Yeah.
Now you tell me azabi. Why is translated as my patient? And you say azabi. Azabi is in majroor form here, and you say is a maf'ul bihi. So what do you what is going on here? This is the question from like way before we started doing Jumla Ismiya and all.
It's okay. The
First you have to
the
answer.
B
First you have to
is
spot it that. Okay? You have to spot
the
it that if
kasra.
it's maf'ul bihi, it should have a fatha, not the kasra.
Then do we say that it should be you said في محل النصب.
There's no such thing as fi mahal nasab in this one.
Okay. Oh, was that only for فعل ماضي?
No, it is for fi'l mudari, but it's not for this one.
It's not for this example.
Okay, now you tell me why do we have a kasra on a ism?
We have a kasra because it is majroor.
So do you see the harf jar here?
حرف الجر. Nope.
Harf jar make majroor, right? There's
Yes.
no harf jar here. But there was another fragment that we studied that have majroor ending.
It was a إضافة.
What? It was idafa fragment. But for idafa fragment, you have to have two asma, right?
Yes.
So do you see two asma in there?
Nope.
I can see that.
Do you? عذاب. عذاب.
Hmm.
عذابي.
What?
The word is عذاب.
Yes. So
Is
put your emphasis on the sound. What sound does it make in the end?
the B.
B, right? So if I say B, there is something that I can think, okay, there is something else in this word which is being merged because of the sounds. So which harf can come in the ending that has been smushed because of the sound?
Maybe a yeah.
Maybe a yeah. So attached pronoun with ya, which is attached pronoun?
Oh, but it's not there.
You cannot see it, but you can hear it. And the Arabic language is all about hearing.
Okay.
So it is azabi with the ya, but we do not put ya here because azabi doesn't sound good.
Okay.
Azabi,
So they just omitted it.
in this case azabai, because we have maful here, and maful have what have they have fatha, not kasra. So azaba plus yi will be azabai, and azabai doesn't sound good.
No.
So they turned it to azabi with the kasra in the end to remove the confusion, right? For the listeners. Because Quran was
Okay.
revealed in the form of word, not in the form of a book, right? The word used to
Yes.
come through the mouth of Huzur Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So it was all listening. So in terms because now we have a book and now we can see, so we have just forgotten about working on our listening part. So here you have to analyze the words of Quran from the listener's point of view. So azabi here is a idafa fragment, azaba plus yi, which means what? If azaba means punishment, then azabi means
My punishment.
punishment of I or my punishment. So see, this is why my punishment comes in. Is everybody
Okay.
clear on that?
It's really interesting. Yeah.
I know. That's why I just try to give you a chance. I could have told you, but you would not understand it this way. So that's why I tried to give you the chance. So everybody else, are you clear on that?
Yes.
Yeah. So if there's ever a kasra and we're not sure it's a maf'ul, then we should think it could be ana.
Why
I
it
mean,
is
it could
coming
be
from.
mudaf
If you find
mudaf
something which
ilayh.
is not unusual, the first thing you have to think about it. Right? Then why it is here. Then look for the possibilities. And then look for the sounds. Like we say, we have heard in, but here it was ina. So we know we have studied no word as ina. So it does mean that the fatha is because of for the sound purposes, the spoken language purposes, right? Same here, azabi is b and ya, but not written as b ya. It is b with the kasra. Sister Raisa, you're very quiet. Are you getting it? Next is yours. Sister Raisa?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, good work. So now the next one is yours.
Okay.
Sorry, let me just scroll down a bit. Yeah, please go ahead.
No. One. Okay, so one here would be the harf ataf.
No, why it's not harf ataf?
No, because it's and. So
So what did I say about harf ataf? Okay, Sister Samia, can you please remind Sister Raisa why this is not harf ataf?
Is it because it comes at the beginning and it's not connecting something else? So we just say it's a harf.
We say just harf because we don't know if there was something before it's connecting it or not. So we will just call it a harf, not a harf ataf, because harf ataf needs two things to be connected. You say and, you will not say and Raisa. You will say Sara and Raisa, Samia and Raisa and Hodma are my students.
so then it will be a harf ataf because it's connected.
Harf ataf because it's connecting, right?
Okay.
When we're starting a word with va, it can be a harf. I'll tell you what kind of harf it when later we'll do the haroof. But now just remember it as a harf, not a harf ataf, right? Now, please go ahead.
Okay, so next is lamma. Is when. So it was. He said that when lam comes after fi'l mudari, it will be when.
Not after, before.
Before fi'l mudari, so it will be when.
It's not didn't say fi'l mudari. When the lamma becomes before fi'l mudari, it's a haroof jazimah.
Didn't you say like when lam comes before fi'l mudari, the meaning turns when?
No.
And then when it's madi, it's not yet.
No, I say when it's lamma, it's mudari, it's not yet. When madi, it's when. You wrote it otherwise.
Okay, so it's I wrote the opposite.
Because lamma is haroof jazma, meaning it's not yet. And
yeah.
jazma only appears before fi'lul mudari.
Yeah. So when it's fi'l mudari,
Come before
not yet.
fi'lul madi, so you say see the meaning of a when and you start making sense. You have to see the fail after it first, right?
Yeah.
I didn't ask you to look at the translation yet. We are just doing the analysis. Then we'll do the translation. Okay. So you say lamma and you don't know the meaning of lamma because it could be not yet, it could be when, but we have to look at the next fail after it. So what is qama?
Qama. Qama has alif. Wait, no. Qama.
Is fi'l madi or fi'l mudari? It's what it is. It's a ism. What it is?
It's a fi'l and it's I can't really work out how, like the.
So what did we say about the fi'l mudari? What are the beginnings to identify fi'l mudari?
For fi'l mudari, it has to have alif or ya or ta or ends with the noon.
I'll start with the noon. So do you see any alif, ya, ta, or noon in the beginning of qama?
No, so it cannot be a fi'l mudari.
So then what it is?
It's a fi'l madi.
So what does it rhyme with?
So it has fatha, so it would be huwa.
It's huwa qama, right?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have
Yeah.
any ending combination, but it's a ending sound. So good, huwa qama. So that we have a huwa format. What do we look for next if we have a fail in a huwa format? So what do we look for next?
We look for an outside do, but there's no fi'l after it, so we don't need to look for an outside do.
Oh, sorry, what do you mean?
Sorry. We need to look for the fa'il.
So why do we look for the outside doer? So why are you not looking for an outside doer?
Sorry. We need to look for one with the rafa form and it matches the statuses. So we have abdu, so it's in rafa status because of the dhamma.
Mm-hmm.
And
we do not
it
have to match
matches
the statuses. We have to match what?
the gender.
The gender. The qama is huwa and abdu is. Do we have any reason to be feminine?
No, it doesn't have a reason to be feminine.
Okay. So you say the abdu is the fa'il?
Yeah.
Okay. What about Allahi?
Allahi would be the maf'ul.
Okay. But when we are doing isma, didn't we say that we just not leave at the first ism? If we have two asma, we always look for the connection between them?
The connection between I'm confused.
Okay. When we're doing asma, we say that it's not, we just not stop at first ism and leave the second ism behind. If there are two ism are there, asma are there, we always look for the connection. We studied some kind of fragments, right? Ism plus ism fragments.
Fragments. So Abdullahi. Abdu, one of the special mudaf.
Abdu is not the Abdu means slave. Abdu is not a special mudaf.
Yeah, so it's a ism plus ism fragment. So it's a idafa fragment.
Okay. Why idafa fragment?
Because they're both ism.
So it could be Mawsuf Sifa fragment?
Yeah, and no, because Mawsuf Sifa, it's the. We already know the Mawsuf Sifa harfs.
So Mawsuf Sifa does not have any harf in it. Mawsuf Sifa are two asma combined fragment. What happens, sister? You have forgotten all of your ism lectures?
No, isn't Mawsuf Sifa the one with the pointer words?
No, they are Ismul Ishara and Musharun Alayhi. Sister, come on. Do it quick, you are forgetting everything. We are moving forward, you are forgetting everything behind. That's not gonna work because everything here is related. No, do not turn over your pages. Try to focus. If I cannot turn on my camera now, but I want to see your face now. So just imagine that you're looking at the screen towards me. Do not look anywhere else. Just look directly at your screen, right? Imagine you are watching me. And now tell me that how many type of fragments are there?
There are 5 types of fragments.
Out of how many are harf plus ism fragments?
There's There's idafa. There's
I say harf plus isim fragments. So how many are harf plus isim fragments?
three.
I do not take your eyes away from the screen. You have taken your eyes away from the screen.
No, I'm still.
So you're looking at the screen and now you're telling me how many types of fragment have isim plus harf fragment. Harf plus isim fragment.
There's three.
Okay. Give me the name of those three.
The jar majrur fragment, the nasab ismuha fragment,
Okay.
the ismul ishara.
So did I say ismul ishara are huruf? Did I ever say huruful ishara? Hurfe jar, harfe nasab, harfe ishara. Have you ever heard me saying that?
No.
So ismul ishara are isma. They say ismul ishara, isma.
Yeah.
So they are isim, right? So we have two fragments that are harf plus isim fragment. Then we have three fragments that have isim plus isim fragments. So one is ismul ishara, the other is idafa, and the third is mawsuf sifa. This cannot be ismul ishara fragment because abdu is not one of the ismul isharas. It can be mawsuf sifa or it can be idafa. For mawsuf sifa, it has to match in all four properties, but abdu is rafa and allahi is abdu is rafa and that is nasab, so it cannot be mawsuf sifa. So only option that we have is idafa. And for idafa, what are the conditions? Come on, do it quick.
The idafa, the condition it can nothing can come between.
Mudaf should be those two things.
Sorry?
Mudaf should be two things, right?
Yeah, it can mudaf should be
light, no al, right? It should be light with no al. So abdu is light. Is not abdun, is light, and it has no al, right? And for mudaf ilayh it should be majroor.
Yeah.
Allahi has kasra is majroor. So Abdullahi is what? Idafa fragment?
Yes, it's idafa fragment.
So now just try to do that quickly, and if you have a tendency of forgetting things, so I will recommend you this weekend you go through them with the speed of a 2 or 1.5, go through the fragments and revise them, right? Okay, so Abdullahi is a idafa fragment, and the whole idafa fragment is our fa'il.
It's a, yeah.
Right? So qama Abdullahi, wa lamma qama Abdullahi, and lamma is appearing before madi, so it will have a meaning of when. And qama means to stand up, to stood up, right?
Yeah.
To stood up, and Abdullahi is slave of Allah. So and when, because it's a fa'il, it comes first. So when the slave of Allah stood up, okay, and their lamma is not affecting qama because it is not a roof jazma. It's just appearing as a when, right?
Yeah, because it's not mudarah, it's madi. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Sister Hudma.
I have a question. Here, Abdullahi. So why we put da?
What do you mean?
Da is for al, no?
Because
For
what is the mudaf ilahi?
Okay, yes.
When mudaf ilahi is proper, mudaf is also
Yes,
proper,
sorry,
because you cannot make mudaf proper. You have to look for mudaf ilahi.
Yeah.
Everybody is rusty on their concept. You all have to go back and listen to the recording in your own time and place. Just go through the recording, please. Okay? Otherwise, it will make things difficult for you. Sister Hodma. No, Sister Samia. You there?
Yeah.
Please do that. We are past the time, so we have to be quick now.
We're doing the next one now?
Yes, please.
Where's the Sorry, is that your child?
What?
Sorry, my mute wasn't working to go off and then it wasn't going to take it off again. I apologize.
No problem.
Child is that?
So, what are you saying, Sister Samia? I couldn't hear you.
Well, no, I said, is that your child, Ustada? I had a child speaking, but I didn't know whose child.
It's
fine.
not. It's not the. I think
It's
that must
just
be
the
sister.
headroom.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we have fal, which is a huruf jazma.
Do we have any huruf jazma as fal?
Jazma, no. Fal, no, that's the huruf
We have
nasib.
in lam lamma wal falli. So
Wal
we have a
falli.
huruf jazma as well. I was just trying to confuse you and you
Ah,
got confused.
okay. No,
Fal means then should, right?
don't confuse me.
I just tried to confuse you and it's written on there, then should, and you just got confused.
Yeah, because I need to solidify it, inshallah. Okay, so it is, yes, it's huruf
This
jazma.
is no problem.
Okay. So yes, tajibu. So we have a ya at the front. So and we have bu. We have a ending sound. So
Not
this
not
is
ending
going
sound, ending combination.
ending combination. Yeah, ending combination. So this is going to be hum. So the fi'l mudari is yastajibu, and the fi'l
Buna.
fa'il
Original form yastajibuna. Yastajibuna
yastajibu.
made
Yastajibu.
yastajibu because of fal, right?
Because yeah.
I'm just saying you all, every one of you over and over again. Just make this practice. Otherwise, you will get confused and make a mistake in the future. So make a practice of saying the original form as well.
So the original form, what is it called? Marfu is yastajibuna, and it is yastajibu light because of fal.
Again, think hum yastajibuna.
Hum yastajibuna,
Good.
and so li.
So what is the file here?
So the file is hum.
Yes, good.
So now li, there's lam, huruf jar, and attached pronoun.
Very good.
So li means the second. I can't remember li.
Okay, you say li is a harfe jar and attached pronoun ye, and it's a jar majrur fragment, and it's a mutalik will fail for yastajibu.
Yes.
Okay, but now look at the other word after it.
Okay, so wal. Now this is another huruf jazma. And yu'minu. Yu'minu. So the ya and the ending combination means it's hum. So yu'minuna is the original, and because it's light, so it's yu'minu. And the file is hum.
Very good.
And then B is harf jar plus attached pronoun ana.
Okay, good.
Jar
Okay.
majrur fragment.
Very good. So now tell me what is wa here.
This is wal, is part of the haruf jazma.
It's a proof of harf means jazima and one means and should.
Okay.
Right? But if you see here, this and should is also working as what? Connector?
Yeah.
Because yastajibua is fail mutare in home format, followed by mutalik bil fail. Yuminuna is a failul mudare followed by mutalik bil fail. So we have the same.
We have the same the number, so they're both hum.
So the same, a format followed by the same format. So this y is also is also working as a connector. That's why they have and they should meaning, right? And should meanings.
Okay.
So when you have and should meaning, it means what? That the val will be, you will spot the harfe jazma val when there is a connection between two sentences, right?
So fal is usually followed by a wal.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So
I love this ayah. I love this ayah.
So yeah. So do you get the concept of this ayah? And we look at the meaning. So then they should respond to me because of li, and they should believe in me because of b, right?
Yeah.
Very good. Sister Habiba, please next one.
Okay. Li, walfalli, so li can be. Okay, first we have to see the fail. Yatafakka. Yatafakka is begin with ya.
It's a whole.
Fakkahu.
Why are you
Okay,
stopping?
okay. Yatafakkahu. So it is started with ya, so it is mudare. Yatafakkaru huna. So it is hum form.
Hum yatafaqqahuna made lightest because of
Lightest of because of dropping the noon
because of the
and because of
G.
the li.
Yeah.
Jazimah, yeah.
Good.
And then fee is half a
Jar.
yeah. Allazi
Adini.
Adini, okay, Adini. Fee, then this is jar majrur.
Good.
And wali, then wali also.
Yes, jar majur. What is this related to yatafaqqahu?
It will be mutalik bil fail.
Yes, please.
And then anything else? No. Then wali. Wali is again and the huruf jazimah because the you it starts with fail starts with ya.
Yeah, fail mudari. Yes.
Mudare yunziruna. So whom
Oh, sorry. Yunziru. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong
yeah.
slide.
Hum yunziruna. So here we dropped the noon, so lightest. So wali yunziruna, yunziru. So here file is hum again. And kaumahum. Kaumahum is idafa form.
Yes.
And this is a kaumahum, their people. Their people is bihi.
Qamahum want their people. Qamahum. Why qamahum is
Idafa.
idafa.
It can be no. That is a special
Cannot
mother.
be maful bihi.
It's not maful bihi.
What is answering?
Kaumu bihi. What or who, but
Yes,
therefore.
fine. It is maful bihi, but I wanted to know the answer. That's why I say it's not. So yes, it is answering who, and it is maful bihi.
Okay.
You're right. I'm just trying to confuse you. Because I wanted to know the reason. So you know the right reason and you did not get confused. So it is good. Alhamdulillah. So لِيَتَنْفَقَهُ فِي الدُّنْيَا وَيَتَنْزُرُوا قَوْمَهُم. So they should obtain a deep understanding of their religion فِي الدِّينِ وَلَيَنْزُرُوا, and they should warn their people. Right?
Yeah.
So good. So ladies, do you want to continue with the drill or you want to do it as a homework?
Homework, Ustadha.
Yes, please, because we are getting very late. So please do this drill as a homework, and please read this chart because we already have taught about it. So you know that. So just read this chart and do the homework, the drill as a homework. Okay?
Ustadha, my example, Mutalik bil fail came twice, yeah? So what was...
Sorry?
So my one jar majroor, there was two jar majroor, so that's mutalik bil fail. So fail fa'il.
Fi dunya is not mutalik will fail because we studied the what is if we have if a jar majroor fragment with fi, what kind of a maful it is.
Yeah, it's maful fihi, but this is li, right? So this is mutalik bil fail.
Which is li? Where?
Lam and yeah. So
فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا. Oh no, that is mutalik will fail, and B is also mutalik will fail.
So there's two mutalik bil fails here after each, with each what do you call it? Yeah. So then what's the exaggeration?
Okay, there's not always is exaggeration. Fal
Okay.
yastajibu li is one sentence, and wal yuminuna bi is another sentence. There are two
Got it.
separate sentences, right?
Yeah.
So one sentence has ended and the other sentence has begun, and the wa is the connect. Wal is the connector.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem. And Sister Hodma, we had to do the vocabulary thing. So inshallah, if you get time, we'll do that tomorrow. Because today I
Okay.
had to
Yes,
explain a
Ma'am.
lot of you, and you all have forgotten your basic concepts, and that's why we have delayed our lecture too much today. So I'm expecting tomorrow you will just quickly go through your summaries and revise what we have studied previously. Okay? Inshallah ta'ala, we will start a new topic tomorrow. And for the meanwhile, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Walaikum assalam.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.